Okay everyone, I've finally tried Tini's baked mac and cheese recipe. I did make a couple adjustments. The main adjustment was not having corkscrew noodles. I replaced them with half penne. And the other half was shells, which for the shells, I added some diced veggies to make a jalapeno, shells and cheese with her sauce recipe. I absolutely loved the jalapeno, shells and cheese version. Then another adjustment I made was with the cheese options. I wanted to use up what I had. Tini for sure chose the best cheese options in her recipe. I do those cheeses with most of my pastas. They are a perfect mixture and results in great texture. Hers is 1 pound of mozzarella, 1 pound of Colby Jack, 8 ounces sharp cheddar. I essentially just swapped the sharp cheddar with this tomato basil Monterey Jack cheese. I did still have 4 ounces of sharp cheddar, so I added it to the Colby Jack amount. So altogether I used 8 ounces of tomato basil Monterey Jack, 1 pound of mozzarella, 12 ounces Colby Jack, and 4 ounces sharp cheddar. So to get started, have 1 pound of cooked pasta. The recipe calls for corkscrew. I had 1/2 a pound of medium shells and 1/2 pound penne pasta. I used half of the cheese sauce to make a jalapeno shells and cheese version. So 1/4 diced onion, 3 minced garlic cloves, and minimum 1/2 diced jalapeno. In a tablespoon of oil, cook the onions and jalapeno until soft and develops a little color. Then add the garlic for about 30 seconds. Watch this one piece of garlic just try and fly away. Next, remove those veggies and set aside. We will begin our roux in the same pot for added flavor. Melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Then get your seasonings ready. 1/2 teaspoon salt and pepper. Then 1/2 teaspoons garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon smoked paprika. Mix that up. Then add half to the melted butter. This process is called blooming your seasoning, which I believe is a big part of why her recipe is so good and unique. I don't believe I have ever seen this done for a mac and cheese. Cook the seasoning for a minute over medium heat. Then add 3 tablespoons of flour. Whisk that in, breaking up all those lumps while cooking your flour for a couple minutes. Next, I'm getting my can of evaporated milk and 2 cups of heavy cream ready. Now you will add in your evaporated milk while whisking those lumps out, because this will thicken and clump quickly. After the evaporated milk, add the heavy cream, still whisking until smooth. So I realized I was just half a cup short on heavy cream, so I replaced it with my favorite substitute, and that is chicken broth. This is my favorite. It's very flavorful. My whole family loves it. I forgot to record adding 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, so keep your stove to a medium heat, maybe even a medium-low, depending on your stove. You don't want this to burn or boil over. If your cheese is melting, then it should be at a high enough setting. So save half the cheese for the pan that you are baking the pasta in. Add the cheese a little at a time, ensuring the previous amount is melted first before adding more. Once half the cheese is added to the pot, add the remaining seasoning. After that's mixed in, I'm using a small 8 by 8 inch square baking pan and adding half of the penne pasta. Then coating those noodles well in the cheese sauce. Next, put a layer of shredded cheese. Then top with another layer of noodles and cheese. It seems my sauce is a bit more thin, and it's likely because I used a little broth to replace the missing cream. Then finally top with more cheese and fresh parsley before baking. Now I add our veggies for the jalapeno cheese version. Back to the cheese sauce pot. I'm adding the cooked shells directly into the cheese sauce and mixing those in extremely well. Same process as before, with a similar size pan. Add a layer of cheesy noodles, more shredded cheese, and then more cheesy noodles again. Then a final layer of shredded cheese and some fresh parsley before baking. You will bake these in a 350 oven
Can I do some too?
for 25 to 30 minutes until the cheese on top is melted. Then carefully broil the top to get that golden brown top. It should only take a minute or 2. Don't walk away, it burns quickly. This is a recipe I'm saving for sure. So here's the cheese pull for both. Next time I will layer in a bit more cheese. But this jalapeno shells and cheese was one of my favorites. My next video you don't want to miss. It's a chicken tender tossed in bang bang sauce. We all absolutely loved it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.